Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that I do every single week on Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and during this show, what I attempt to do, what I endeavor to achieve is to spend some time talking about some news and current events, things that are top of mind for me and may also be top of mind for you. During this show, I provide you with an overview of some of the content that is going to be coming out from my channel. We spend some time answering questions and talking about whatever it is that you guys throw up in the chat. And then we also give away a really cool slab from our friends over at Go Collect. And we are going to dig into our agenda here momentarily. But before we get to that, we do have some housekeeping items. But for those that are watching, I plan to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about Milestone Comics. We're going to talk about some DC stuff. We're going to talk about some Marvel stuff, specifically some books that are going to be coming out that I am somewhat interested in. And I saw in the chat that folks were actually talking about the WandaVision trailer that dropped a short while ago. I think that Marvel knew that I was going to be going live and they were like, hey, let's give him something else to talk about. So we may even talk about that as well. Shout out to my man Matthew for giving me a heads up on the WandaVision trailer. He sent it to me and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So shout out to him and all of the other the COMIC SWOLDIer reporters out there that constantly feed information to me to make sure that I am in the know. I absolutely appreciate all you guys, and that includes my man Joe and certainly Matthew, young Matthew as we call him. Huge shout out to Randy Resnake, Matt Woods, and also my man Master Blaster. And someone else hit me to something yesterday or day before that I was not aware of and caused a little bit of panic. And it was not the first or last thing that I panicked about this weekend. So let me get to the housekeeping items. Then I'll say what's up to the folks that have joined me here in the chat. So a couple of housekeeping items that I want to make you guys aware of. I was planning to do the second dry cleaning video Q&A on Wednesday this week. I'm actually moving that forward to Tuesday, and my goal is to do it Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And this is basically a Q&A session for those individuals that are Patreon members or those individuals that have actually purchased the deluxe cleaning kit that I've been selling on ReggieCollects.com. Plan to do them both on Wednesday. Cannot do that because I have an eye doctor appointment. So we're actually going to do it Tuesday at 4 p.m. So hopefully you guys will be able to join me, and hopefully we will not have the technical glitches that we experienced last week. I'm not quite sure what was up with that, but as you guys will hear in just a moment, I have been having some challenges. Shout out to my man, Super Honorable Nephew, to the power of 12. He says this dude has picked up, if you are wondering, 12 copies of the Regie Collects exclusive variant. The dude has more copies in his collection than I have now. That is basically what no, that's not quite true because I still have some raw books. he almost has more copies than I do. He said he also found some Venom 25 Walmart variants. Congrats on that, brother. You indeed had a good weekend, my man. So the dry cleaning Q&A is now changed to Tuesday at 4 p.m. Hopefully the Patreon members and other individuals that actually purchased the deluxe cleaning kit can actually join me for that. And there was a post up, I want to say, on the community tab with some additional details around that. It is, I want to say I still have Wednesday there, which is part of the reason why I'm making the announcement here. And if I remember, I'll go back and revise it to say Tuesday at 4 p.m. All right. Something also that I posted to the Patreon, I am attempting to do something a little bit different with Patreon. With the community tab, but I'm trying to do something a little bit different with Patreon. A few Patreon members reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and gave me a couple of things to think about. I'm still processing through those things, but I am going to attempt to implement some of what has been suggested, in my own way, right? So check that out if you guys have an interest in seeing what that might look like. The big thing that happened this weekend are the glitches. I had some glitches And from time to time, there's some funny stuff that actually happens with YouTube. Occasionally, something that you set up to go at AM will go at PM and vice versa. This is the first time I think that a video that was marked as private has actually gone live. This is the first time that has actually happened. You guys know that I don't release pre-recorded videos at midnight, and I certainly don't release them on a Friday into a Saturday at midnight. But that is essentially what happened. And I woke up Saturday morning, and there were a slew of email messages, direct messages about my video that I had released at midnight, and panic ripped through me as I dodged toys on my way to the comic book room to basically delete that video that had somehow gone public. Not quite sure what happened there, but rest assured that there was only one giveaway per week. There is only one Go Collect giveaway every single week. So shout out to all those people that kept their the secret phrase, if you will, as what it was. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. The other little thing that ripped through me this weekend was I was notified that some of the videos that I have uploaded as of late have been of a lower resolution. So I cannot remember who it was, but I was actually driving down the street. I want to say it might have been on like Friday afternoon or something like that. I'm reading this message. I'm like, what do you mean my videos are low quality? Sure enough, the video was low quality. So then I had to go back and look at the videos, and I don't know, something happened between my video program and YouTube that resulted in 4K videos going up as something other than 4K. So you definitely have my apology with the low quality of videos that have been going out as of late. And I'm specifically talking about the pre-recorded videos, not the live things, but the pre-recorded videos somehow were getting degraded down to a much lower resolution. And now I feel like I should just re-upload all those videos because the resolution was not good. It was not good at all. In fact, you guys may actually see maybe one more video that was already recorded. Typically what happens is I pull the videos, I shoot them, I pull them down, I edit them, I upload them, and then I get rid of them. And so, yeah. So shout out to those people again that made me aware of the various issues that happened this weekend. Again, I'm one person trying to do the best that I can, and to that point, mistakes happen. Things sometimes get by me, but I definitely appreciate you all sticking with me and continuing to help me monitor all of the comings and goings, as it were. All right, with all of that out of the way, I want to scroll up to the top here real quick and say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the room. My man DB is here. Dennis is here. Kingpin Comics is in the house. Almighty Liger King says he did not see the trailer yet. Skip the first 15 seconds of the 1 minute and 20 second thing, and you'll be good. You'll be good. Myth Lab Music is in the house. It's good to see you. The Blue Wrench is in the house. Tina, it is always good to see you. I'm hoping that you are having a good weekend. Larissa is in here. Harvey Abel, my man, Jeffrey P is in the house. It's good to see you. Who else do we have in here? Scrolling down, another Jeff. Jeff B is in the house. Pretty fly for a Filipino guy. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Ariel is here. Daniel is here. Scrolling down through the names here. Tony Trapetta TT is in here. It's good to see you, my friend. The owner of EGS, third-party grading company, Bearded Comic Collector, aka Jerry, is in the house. It's good to see you, my friend. Scrolling through, Steve, how you doing, bro? It's good to see you. I think you change your name like every It's good to see you, bro. It is good to see you. Raging Cajun Comics and my man Sean, how you doing, brother? All right, so it is definitely good to see all of you guys, and again, thank you for spending a little bit of time with me this Sunday night. There are several things that I want to talk about during this show. And again, we're going to talk about the things that are on my agenda. Then we'll also talk about some things that may be top of mind for you guys. These things are completely in the wrong order. So what I did, and this was one that I don't even think I have any graphics to show you guys. But there was a Milestone comic that was released recently, and I actually had a chance to read it. It is Milestone Returns Zero. Milestone Returns Zero. And it is a basically DC's attempt to remind us of who Milestone is and who the characters of the Milestone universe happen to be. And I had a chance to read it today, and it was actually written by Regie. And Reggie I think he's a pretty solid writer. He also has a solid name. I mean, he spells it with 2 G's, but we're going to set that aside for the moment. Reggie is a solid writer, and there were a host of artists on this thing. The most important of which to me is Jim Lee. He actually worked on pages 1 and 2. And this comic was really designed again to remind us of who the Milestone characters are, like Icon and Static Shock and Rocket and all of these various characters, because Milestone is back. And you guys know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. DC is going to basically be bringing Milestone Comics back. They're going to be releasing a lot of the content digitally. And I honestly don't know. My assumption was that they were going to be re-releasing the old content. But based upon what happens with this Milestone Return Zero, I almost feel like they are about to release new content for the Milestone characters, because they were playing around with some of the histories of the characters a little bit different from the original version, which I recently read like a couple of weeks ago. So it seemed like they are bringing Milestone back, but they are going to be doing new original content. I am honestly excited about that. I will tell you, I am honestly excited. I am as excited about that as I am about Nick's super sticker that he just dropped in here. Nick, shout out to you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Love that red color, my man. Thank you for dropping in that that sticker there. But there are a couple of characters in this book that I did not recognize. So I'm not sure if these are characters that I just did not read when I went back and reread all the Milestone stuff, or whether they're new characters that they're introducing. But what I will tell you is that it appears that DC is rewriting history just a little bit, in the sense that they are basically updating these characters. They're putting them in the present day. They're using some present day events and things like that to tell a fresh version of the origin stories for these characters. And that, I think, is most notable when you actually look at Static Shock. That I think they did some things that are very timely based upon his origin story that I thought was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good stuff. The overall book, and I don't know if you guys have read this, the overall book itself to me felt just a little rushed. It was a little rushed because they were trying to introduce all of these different characters in like a page or 2. And so there really wasn't a true story. But it was more like Icon and Rocket were observing these various heroes and giving us a glimpse into who they were. That was essentially the gist of the story. He's playing Batman in that he is spying on everybody and is basically like, here's who this person is. Here's what they're about. Next story. Here's who this person is. Here's what they're about. That was basically the course of it. And so for me, after having just read all of the not all, but many of the Milestone stories, I was like, oh, you already know this. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. That's fine. But that's only part of it, you know? So it felt a little rushed to me, but I will tell you that I am still excited to see what DC actually chooses to do with this. And again, I think that what they're going to be doing with Milestone is all digital. I think it's going to be all digital stuff that they're going to be releasing as part of their diversity initiative that they're trying to do. And we're going to see how it plays out. I'm excited about it because I think Milestone actually had some good stories and characters back in the day, and it's going to be interesting to see how DC chooses to treat them right now. So let me see. Alex, how you doing? You are not late. You are on time, my friend. Scrolling through DC getting the characters ready for mainstream appearances on movies. And I don't know that I would disagree with that. I don't know that I would disagree with that, where they are basically cleaning them up and bringing them into present day. Because when you go back and you read some of the stuff, specifically like Hardware hardware in the original version is a little dated. It feels a little dated, a little stale, especially in like maybe issues 1 and 2. Um, I would say that when you think about Icon and the character that he was essentially portraying, while he might have been a little counter in the 90s, I don't know if he would be as counter and inconsistent with present day, if you guys know the Icon character. So I think that what they're doing is they're basically cleaning them up a little bit. They're bringing them into present day, potentially for the purpose of being able to introduce them. And we'll talk a little bit more potentially here, Almighty Liger King, in a few moments, how they might actually go about doing some of that stuff in my second item that I want to talk about. So I'm actually scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing if I missed anything, if you guys were talking about this. Scrolling through, I think Philly Born just hit upon something that I will be talking about in just a second. Scrolling through. All right, I think I covered off on most of what you guys are talking about there. Oh, wait a minute. If they're pushing them out mostly digitally, I feel that's not giving it proper effort. Yeah, well, yes and no. So here's the thing is that DC, well, I would say people could say that if it weren't part of a larger strategy for DC overall, right? Because DC's apparent new strategy is to put things, well, first of all, let's be honest, they are cutting 20 to 25% of the titles, right? So that's first, right? So the fact that they are actually introducing something, we should take note of that when they're cutting titles like Batman Beyond, which are incredibly popular. So I think that that's important to note that. But what they are doing is introducing Milestone as part of a digital strategy that is a larger strategy where they're basically saying, hey, we want to take some chances. We want to take some risks. We want to do some things, but we want to do so smartly so as to make sure that we are doing the financially responsible thing, which you have to applaud. So they're saying, hey, we want to bring back some diversity stuff. We want to do some global stuff. We want to do some things that are unique to discrete markets around the world. And we're probably going to do those things digitally because digital is inexpensive. If there tends to be some traction with the digital things that we do, and there seems to be an appetite and an interest, then we will then produce printed comics from it. It actually is the financially responsible thing to do. And I actually applaud them for that versus putting out a product that you don't know if people are going to be receptive to, right? I definitely get it. And I think that they are trying to do the right thing when they do a lot of wrong things. both of the publishers, they do lots of wrong things, but I honestly do think that this is a good thing to do. I mean, heck, how many Batman stories and Superman stories can you tell at once? At least give us some things that are a little bit different from some of the norms. So I definitely applaud these guys for what they're trying to do, to be honest with you. I'm still shocked, says William. I'm still shocked about 25% cut on some books that are good because few of the books are not. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that that's the thing is that the truth of the matter, William, and you know this, no matter what you cut, it's going to be somebody's favorite. Right? No matter what you cut, it's going to be somebody's favorite. And while the perception might be that it's everyone's favorite, I think the reality is that it's not everyone's favorite, right? There is a subset of people that have an interest and are passionate about that. And they're making those 20 to 25% bottom cuts to those things that are either not profitable or are just breaking even. And again, it's part of a larger strategy to remain financially viable, which I kind of respect. But no, if you make a cut, somebody's not going to like it. So I definitely get it. I don't know what the cutoff was, what the criteria that they used. I don't know any of that. They could have used the previous 6 month sales. It's tough. It's tough to know. But yeah, I think like the Batman Beyond was one that was a little shocking for some people. So I would love to see the Great 10 back if they are going globally. Chuck, they say that they are. I mean, you saw from that what was that, about 2 weeks ago when we talked about that, they Jim Lee in multiple quotes kept talking about global and international scope. And so we will see what that looks like. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, making sure that I did not miss anything. They've kept too many bad selling books around for too long. Thus, others are paying the price now. Yeah. I cannot disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that. I'll admit I was sub to all of DC until they gave Ben to Superman. Well, here's the thing, Jonathan. The good news is that in December, Bendis is no more. Bendis is coming off of Superman. So who knows? Who knows who's going to be taking up the mantle now? But Bendis is done. So now you can go back to DC, my man. All right. So let's move on to the second item that I have here on the list. And this is actually one that I'm not all too familiar with. So I'm actually going to be dependent upon you guys for some of the details on this one. Shout out to my man Joe. Joe gave me the hip to this one. He reached out to me a couple of days ago and told me about this one. So I wanted to make sure that I went ahead and shared it with you guys. In the news here, this is not like breaking news because it's been out there now for a couple of days. The DC universe is transforming itself into the DC Universe Infinite. I'm not quite sure what that means because to me it seems limited. It doesn't seem infinite to me, but yeah, let's just roll with that. So this is actually the communication that DC released, basically saying that their platform of DC Universe is evolving. It's evolving into a premium digital comic book service that will be launching on January 21st, 2021. And some of the details here is that if you are a subscriber now or in the future, you will have access to about 24,000 comics at launch on this platform. You will have access to digital first comics like Milestone that we were just talking about, which I think is going to be digital along with a bunch of other comics, exclusive access to DC fan events. I guess like Fandom is going to be one of those things. And one of the more curious things here is that they're actually going to be releasing, let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, they're going to be releasing their new comics 6 months after those comics hit the LCS. So I think the way that it was working before is that their lag time was about a year. And now the lag time is about 6 months. So comic comes out, and I'm making this up, on January 1st, 2021. In June, you will get access to that particular comic. What's great is that you get access to the back catalog, 80 years of content, which I think is fantastic. And then again, on a rolling basis, you will actually get access to these comics. And I think this actually brings them in line with what Marvel Unlimited offers, because Marvel Unlimited actually gives you the same thing at 6 months. After a comic comes out, you get it, but then you also have access to the back catalog of about 80 years. And by and large, I cannot think of a title that I went to go look for on Marvel Unlimited that was unavailable to me. I was actually hard pressed to find a comic on that platform. I'm sorry, to find that a comic was missing from Marvel Unlimited. So 24,000 is not a small number of comics, man. That's more than enough reading right there. So and then again, to the comment that we were making a few moments ago, this new platform is expanding globally. And so in the summer, whatever summer is defined as for DC, they're going to be expanding it globally. So I'm guessing that it's maybe North America, US or North America is my guess there. So there's a little bit of a cool. Our fans love our fans love the platform's robust library of comics, and with the transformation, we will not disappoint. And this is from Jim Lee. I'm excited to share that not only will DC Universe Infinite members still be able to read all of the great comics they've been enjoying, but new issues are debuting on the platform quicker than ever. Digital, blah blah blah. The stuff we just talked about here a hot second ago, and you can see some of these digital first comics include some Aquaman books, some Batman books, Deceased here, Harley Quinn, Shazam, a few other books that are all Wonder Woman 84, kind of cool, which are all going to be these digital first comics that are going to be dropping. So to me, again, a little bit of what this is them rolling back some of what they did before, because I think before this platform was actually comics, and it was it was also media. It was in videos and movies and TV shows. All that kind of stuff was all there. But essentially what is happening, as you guys heard me talk about weeks and weeks ago, they are taking all of that digital content in the form of the movies and the TV shows, and a lot of that stuff is being put on HBO Max. Basically, they are streamlining a lot of their streaming platforms and where media is being released from. And so HBO Max is where a lot of this content will be made available to folks. And this includes things like Young Justice, Titans, Doom Patrol, Stargirl. All of this stuff is actually moving over to HBO Max. And as part of your membership for the DC new platform, you will actually have a period of time in which you can actually sign up for HBO Max at a reduced cost. So a couple of cool things that are actually happening here. They're doing a couple of giveaways and things like that if you actually subscribe, which is always a nice little incentive. You know, if I'm going to do it, give me a little something extra on top. So that is the rundown of what is happening with the new DC digital platform. I'm going to head back to the chat, see what you guys are talking about. I think that is as large as it can go. I prefer holding physical copies, but I'll read some digital books. I would agree with you, Super Honorable. I am still very much a hard copy guy, but because of the flexibility of the digital stuff, I enjoy digital, right? I was outside earlier today. My kids were in the pool and I was reading comics off to the side. It worked out quite nicely. And so hard copy comics, tough to do that with. Certainly can't lay in bed with a hardcover copy. Took a nap this afternoon while reading. That does not go well if you're actually reading a physical copy. They are indeed, Alex, putting it all on HBO Max. All of the eggs are going in the HBO Max bucket. And this is something we talked about before, man. Everybody and their mother has a streaming platform and some kind of app or something like that. $4, $5, $6 here, there, and everywhere. It is only a matter of time potentially before more of these things start to consolidate, because you cannot have content in all of these places. And again, I spend most of my time watching Netflix. I've been watching that Nurse Ratched on Netflix. Oh my goodness. If you guys have not seen that, I definitely encourage you to check it out. So scrolling through, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I usually fall asleep reading a comic on my iPad. Brother, I am with you. I do it almost every night. Almost every night I fall asleep reading comics. It's how I unwind at the end of the day. And if I can cheat and get a nap midday, I will do that too. No, it actually wasn't. It was the Milestone comic. I was reading that Milestone Return Zero comic, and man, before you know it, I was in La La Land, and it was a vainglorious 15-minute power nap, man. Oh, it was good. I was awakened to the sounds of screaming from one of the rooms. So let me scroll through. Digital sales can be crazy good sometimes, says Jonathan. Connie says she gets her trades from the library. That is not bad. That's not a bad way to go. There was a comment here, a couple of comments I want to circle back on. Bear with me as I attempt to don't fall asleep when reading, laying down with your tablet. No, I don't do that. When I prop it up on a pillow. There's a couple of more comments here. I do. Sully2 King says, I do not like reading digital, regular, or comic books. Just can't vibe with it. Grates is cheap, brother. Don't let your cheese get grated. Okay, that's all I'm saying to you. Do not let it happen. Sully2 Kings, if you can help it. Scrolling down to the comments here, seeing what else you guys. Man, I'm telling you, on my Liar King, it's ratchet, brother. It is. It's the woman from American Horror Story, the main woman from American Horror Story. I love her. She's a fantastic actress. And when I turned on Ratchet last night, I was sitting here at this desk doing some stuff, trying to re-upload videos that were super low quality and all that kind of stuff. That I was working kind of late. And I turned it on, didn't know what it was. And before you know it, I was like, oh, this is my new favorite show. So if you haven't seen Ratchet on Netflix, treat yourself. I'm telling you. There you go. There you go. People know about this. After I finish reading The Boys, Nurse Ratched is up next, says my man Doug. Doug, shout out to you, brother. I I actually have 2 blog posts that I needed to put up. One from Scott that he sent me earlier this week, and then one from you sent earlier today on regiecollects.com. There is something going on with the platform that I use to manage my website. I actually cannot even get in to the blog area to put up blog posts. So hopefully this gets resolved in a couple of days and I'll be able to get those blog posts put up there. But thank you, bro, for sending that over earlier today. And I do need to get caught up on The Boys myself. I watched everything through, what was it, like last week? So I'm guessing that there's some new stuff out that I have not seen just yet. So scrolling through, give me the book in hand, just not the same doing digital. The feeling is great handling and turning the pages. I agree with you 100%, except for the fact that I have kids and kids are dangerous. My 6-year-old daughter loves bedtime comics. There you go. Train them young, my friend. Train them young. There we go. You guys are hilarious, brother. I'm telling you, this weekend has been rough for me. It has been rough. I tried to do something on Patreon, and I don't know if I read it wrong or if I hit the button too many times. A video that I was trying to get released on Friday got released early, so that was like part of it. The website now, I can't get into it to put a blog post. YouTube has been glitchy off and on just periodically. I think they're making all kinds of updates on the back end and stuff like that because they're always doing that. And it's been a tough weekend. It really has been a tough weekend. And thankfully, a lot of times I'm able to catch stuff, or the stuff that happens isn't all that serious. But yeah, man, videos getting released at midnight is just, that is not the move. That is not how I like to wake up in the morning. So let me scroll down. I have not seen it. A couple of people have seen it. There was somebody that was out with their wife this weekend. I saw it on Instagram that actually saw it. I have no reports of how the New Mutants is, but I'm certain that if some folks are in here, they will actually tell you. Brother, we have been on fire lately. We really have. It's been a good couple of months, man, for selling books. So shout out to everybody that picked up books, man. Shout out to everybody that has picked up the variant. And thank you guys for all tagging me when you actually get your copies in the mail. United States Postal Service has not been kind to some of the boxes, but thankfully there was enough bubble wrap placed on those comics that they were able to survive even the boot prints that were placed on there. So the next thing that I want to talk about is a couple of books that I'm actually excited about reading. And I'm not going to go into very much detail, honestly, on any of these. I just want to tee them up for you guys. There are a lot of these offshoot titles that are coming out now related to the X-Men. We saw all of those giant size that came out that, in my opinion, were not very good. There is a new one that is actually going to be coming out about Juggernaut, and I did not know what to expect with this one, to be honest with you, but it might actually turn out to be pretty good. So this is the new Juggernaut series that is going to be coming out, and it's basically all about what's happening to Juggernaut now that he is not on Krakoa. And so Fabian is actually doing something, I think, a little bit different with this. It's almost a little bit of a throwback to old school comics. And what I mean by that is that this is actually a 5-part miniseries on Juggernaut. But each one of the stories are essentially standalone stories, self-contained standalone stories. There are some threads that kind of run through the 5, but each one of them is essentially an old school, single issue story. And that's the way that Stan Lee wanted it done back in the day, because people are like, what is your favorite story arc? Well, I read a lot of Silver Age, and a lot of Silver Age is like an issue. It is a single issue. It's not an arc. It's like issue number 38 or 35, right? But Fabian is doing something. He's a little bit of a throwback here, in which over the course of these 5 issues, Juggernaut will go on a journey of self-discovery. So I want to read a quote down here. Let me see if I can find a good one here from Fabian or one of these guys. See what they're talking about down here. Is there a good one in here? I don't know if there's a good quote down here. Fabian actually got a call from the X-Men editor to see if he wanted to make some magic happen, and he decided to jump on board and do some cool stuff. So let me see if there's a good one in here. I thought there was at least one good quote that I wanted to focus on. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'll read this graph up here. Where is it? Where is it? There's one further up here. The self-discovery. Yeah, he says each issue will be self-contained according to Fabian, but with ongoing subplots revealing the villain's escape from limbo, how he acquired his new armor, and his interactions with the organized mutant nation, that being specifically Krakoa. And so this is, again, what's going to be happening with the Juggernaut title, and it should be interesting. I mean, again, I love everything, mutant related, so I'm kind of excited about that one. All right, so let me bounce back to the chat. Yeah, and I think I read in there, I think one of the things that they were talking about, Lee, was the fact that Fabian has actually been writing various mutant-related titles for a couple of decades. He's been like off and on various things. So for him, it was like just kind of going back home, if you will. And I think that was one of the things that he actually talked about in that article. Sully Two Kings is like, I love some Juggernaut. There you go. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. I think that is about it in there. All right, so that was one of the ones that I wanted to cover off for you guys. The other one that I wanted to talk about is one that somebody just hinted at a hot second ago, and it is the Immortal She-Hulk. This is actually a one-shot, which kind of makes sense, right? Because the She-Hulk TV show is coming. They have selected the actress that is going to play Jennifer, and now they are basically doing the one shot, which is going to raise her profile. And to some degree or another, this is a continuation of some stories that have already being told. Like Jennifer She-Hulk died recently. Spoiler, right? She recently died, but guess what? Based upon things that are happening with Bruce Banner, the Immortal Hulk, we now know through that story that gamma irradiated creatures, entities, Hulks are actually immortal. And so she is actually going to be back. And again, this is going to be a solo title that is going to be coming back. And this picks up on the heels of Empire, in which she actually just passed away. And I'll be honest with you, this cover that they have put together for her is incredible. I don't know how well you guys can actually see this thing. It is a pretty solid cover right here. The story is being told by Al Ewing, who is the writer for the Immortal Hulk. He is actually going to be writing this. And basically what's going to be happening to Jennifer is that she is going to be discovering what it actually means to be a Hulk. That is essentially what is going to happen. And it's not basically what Al Ewing actually talks about in this article or this interview is that she is not going to be like a devil Hulk like Bruce. She is going to have her own new personality based upon who she was before, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they actually do with this thing. Wolverine makes an appearance and has some pretty hilarious scenes here on Newsarama, which is where I'm getting this information. They actually released a couple of different pages where basically Wolverine kills a guy who's a mutant, and then takes Jennifer out to a bar, and they sit around and they drink some beers. That is essentially what happens with her and Wolverine, which kind of sort of makes sense because Bub likes a good beer. So these are two books, the Juggernaut and also the Immortal She-Hulk. Two books that I am actually looking forward to checking out. So let me pop back to the chat real quick to see where the conversation is right now. Scrolling through, is Iron Fist not immortal? I don't know about that. No, I don't think the person of Iron Fist is immortal, but the chi, if you will, or the entity of the fist is immortal. Isn't that? Somebody tell me if that's correct. I'm not the biggest Iron Fist fan, so I'm certain somebody can give us some insight into that one. I saw a couple of you guys talking about this right here, man. I saw a couple of you guys talking about these Alex Ross covers. Super Honorable Nephew, I think that was you that was posting those up earlier today on Instagram. There's a couple of people, man, that made me spend some money. I spent some money today because of those Alex Ross covers. Those things were super tempting. And man, I cannot wait to actually get them in my hand. Yeah, it was Super Honorable Nephew posted up this right here, posted up that Storm cover, just gorgeous by Alex Ross. And was that the only one you put up? Or you put up the Captain America and the Hulk. And man, you made me spend money, brother. I literally went shopping earlier today because of a couple of posts that you and some other people put up. So let me scroll. Let me Doug's like, somebody died. Yeah, man. Somebody died. I cannot wait, honestly, to get those Alex Ross books in hand. I am very excited about that. So from Juggernaut to She-Hulk. Oh, the irony. Well done. Scrolling through the comments here. Yeah, I think Doc Samson is immortal. I think anybody, basically, that is what Al Ewing is basically saying. If memory serves, and you guys are probably much more current with the Immortal Hulk run than I am. Basically, any gamma irradiated entity is immortal, right? We saw Rick Jones, I do believe, came back. Doc Samson has come back. Sasquatch, who from Alpha Flight or Gamma Flight or whatever team he's on right now, he actually came back from the dead, I want to say. And so I think that that's the new storyline that is actually being told, which kind of sort of plays an homage to the original storyline for Hulk when Bruce used to turn into the Hulk at night. It's like a continuation or a throwback to some of that early stuff, which I think is really cool. I think that was really, really cool stuff. So who was that said the whatchamacallits were fire? Was that Tina? I bought 2 copies of the Storm Alex Ross covers. Man, just gorgeous. Who was that? A couple of people are talking about the covers, man. They are out. I could not find, I think it was the Captain America. I think it's Captain America 22. I cannot find that one for sale. I may end up getting all of them if I can actually find them. So I'm actually looking for them right now because I would like to get those because they are just gorgeous. I'll tell you, Alex Ross does some really good face covers, right? And this is not new. One of the ones he did of Spider-Man, I want to say at the end of last year, I got the first print, the second print, and I want to say the third print. I think the third print was black and white. Just a really cool head cover. Alex Ross is just a super talented guy. Scrolling down through the comments here, Alex Ross on deck. Scrolling through. Nice covers. A couple of people are saying Alex Ross Timeless variant is a set of 32 covers, not including. There you go. Is that it? Are the covers based upon that wall that he did for Marvel? I actually haven't looked into it, but is the heads, aren't those what the mural was created from? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I remember watching a video like it was like early one morning. It was a really fantastic video that someone sent me, or maybe that I just saw on my own, that was posted to the Marvel website or the Marvel YouTube channel. And it showed that mural that he created. That was just really, really incredible. What do you want to do to display the covers? I honestly don't even know if I'll display them, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'll get them slabbed. I don't know if I'll display them, but at a minimum, I might be able to do something like that. That is a six cover frame from, who is that? From Comic Collectors. I think it's from Comic Collectors, and it's a pretty awesome frame that you can actually put raw books into. So I may end up doing something like that. That's definitely an option. Scrolling through some of the comments here, seeing what else I'm missing out on. So Alex Ross should do the cover for this one. Brother, we are going to have to pass the hat on that one. We would have to pass the hat several times over in order to get Alex Ross to do something for us. I'm going to keep messing with the amateur and less well-known artists. Goodness, it would be. There we go. Thank you, bro. That is who that's from. They Collector's Resource. Awesome guys. I did a review of that on the channel. It is a high quality frame. I want to say it comes in single, double, 4, and 6 cover sizes, and high quality stuff, UV protection glass, the whole 9 yard. Man, incredible. They make them for slabs and raw books. So shout out to those guys. Dylan, good of you to join us, sir. Good of you to join us. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. Okay. J. Scott Campbell. All right. So what we'll do, let me give you guys an update on some of the videos that are going to be coming out and the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And then we're going to work our way into giving this book away right here. This Carnage Mind Bomb #1, some 90s foil action, 9.8 white pages. We'll be giving that away in just a hot second. And then I'm also going to show you guys the book that is going to be given away this upcoming week. So this week, what am I going to be releasing? One of the questions that I constantly get asked from people is, what is the best pricing guide for me to use to figure out the values of a comic that I'm trying to buy or a comic that I am trying to sell? This week, I am going to answer the question of which is the best buying guide. And if you have been around for some time, and if you watched the video in which I talked about the best grading service, you already know where this thing is going to be going. DB, shout out to you, brother, for sharing the support on my birthday. There you go. That's what's up, brother. Happy birthday to DB. And thank you for the super chat. My man, I absolutely appreciate you, brother. So that is going to be coming up. We're going to be answering the question of the best pricing guide out there. Also, to celebrate the fact that I was in Overstreet recently, saw it with my own eyes in the comic book shop. I said, that is cool. Had to take a photo. Another video that I'm going to be releasing this week is I'm going to I remastered a video in which I interviewed Ron, the marketing guy from comicspriceguide.com. We interviewed him about a year ago, and I talked to Ron off and on, just on the Instagram machine, because I was focused on pricing guides. With one video, I decided to remaster an interview, and basically what I did is I remastered it by editing it for brevity. Right. So I cut it down. It was a very, very long interview. I cut it down to make it a little bit easier to digest. I did not edit it with the interstitial pages like I've done in the past for other remasterings. But I still think that the shorter video will allow people to better understand what the features and functionality of Comics Price Guide are, how often they update their database, what sources they use to update their numbers, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that'll be a video that folks will enjoy. At least that is my hope. Another video, I'm going to be doing a super sweet unboxing that I've been waiting to share with you guys for a little bit now. A couple of weeks I've recorded this video. I want to say, don't hold me to that. But a super sweet unboxing. And then also, I don't know if you guys know this, but Stan Lee actually worked for Marvel. I'm sorry, DC. He worked for DC, because working for Marvel is like, duh. But DC, people might be like, Chuck, tell me more. So Stan Lee worked for DC, and in a video this week, I'm actually going to show you what he actually worked on. So I think you guys may enjoy that video. And as always, all of those videos are going to be coming out Monday through Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. And then I'm going to be releasing one podcast. The podcast is actually going to be coming out Monday, tomorrow at 7 a.m. That video will be dropping for you guys. So I hope that you guys enjoy all of the content that comes up from the channel this week. And as a reminder, in one of those videos will be a phrase. That phrase will allow you to enter the Go Collect giveaway. The videos are released Monday through Thursday, but the phrase can come out in any video Monday through Friday, including live streams. So you definitely want to take some time to watch the content that actually comes out from the channel. And in one of those videos, there will be a phrase. And just as a reminder, I only do one giveaway per week, just one. Glitches. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me scroll down and make sure I didn't miss anything real quick. Let me see. Thank you, Tina. I'm not sure what that question was, but thank you for answering that for me. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through. Oh, so there's a question here around the variant. I'm guessing someone asked that question, and Tina and Sully Two Kings were attempting to answer those questions. So I will tell you that there are only two more copies of the yellow label for sale online. A lot of these up here are already spoken for by those individuals that have blue label comics that have yet to come in. I'm literally going to be, as soon as the blue labels come in, taking the books off the wall, bundling them together and shipping them out. So I have two other books that are available that are signature series for sale. And then I have a handful, probably two handfuls of raw books for sale as well. All of those are on regiecollects.com. So you guys can find that there. And again, thank you to all those folks that actually answer the questions for people, because I sometimes do miss things. So I definitely appreciate you guys for taking the time to answer those questions for me. Shout out to the Blue Wrench and the Blue Wrench helpers. Shout out to my man EGS Comics. If you guys have not seen the labels that this dude is putting on comics, head over to Instagram, check him out. Tony, throw it up in the comment section, man. He put up that what was that? That Venom 3. I think it was Venom 3 with a black label. Oh my goodness. The book itself, the artwork on the book itself is fantastic. The label really does set it off. So shout out to EGS. The dude is doing some good things. He's doing some good things. I've been talking to people that are very, very pleased with the quality of the books that they've been getting back from EGS. So shout out to him. Keep doing all of the good work that you are doing. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys real quick. We're going to roll some dice, and we're going to give away this Carnage Mind Bomb book. And then I'm also going to show you guys the book that was going to be given away next week. So we're first going to we're going to roll some dice. We're going to roll some dice, and we're going to see what we got. And we received 7. 7 is what we have, even though it is really small on that screen. So now let me share my screen one more time with you, and I'll show you the list of individuals that were able to successfully enter this week's giveaway. And because we had the glitch, essentially what I did is I accepted both phrases. If you entered in, what was it? Mark Bagley. If you entered Mark Bagley or Atari Rocks, you were put into the running. If you entered Atari, that is not acceptable. That was actually not the phrase. So if you entered either phrase, Mark Bagley, which is the correct phrase for this week, or Atari Rocks, because of the glitch, I accepted both. Thankfully, there were more people that did Mark Bagley than the other phrase. Thankfully for that. I think only 500 people or so watched the video that was released early. So at some point you guys will see that video again. So stay tuned for that, because I think it was a good video, and I was mad that it got released early because I think it was a really good video. So these are all of the individuals that were able to successfully enter this week's giveaway. And we're about to randomize this thing a total of 7 times, and then we're going to give away the book. So that is 1 right there. Here is 2, and thankfully every single book that has been given away has actually been shipped out. So we have no extra books on hand. So I'm very, very thankful for that. This is 4 right here, 4th randomization. Here is 5. Scrolling down, here is 6. And the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway of Carnage Mind Bomb issue number 1, 9.8 with white pages, is Adam Close. Adam Close, you, sir, are the winner of this week's Go Collect giveaway. We can see some of the other people that are in the running here. Zachary, Elvis, T is in here, Michael. You can see what the rundown looks like. Hank Yee, my man Hank Yee. It is good to see you. I actually sent some stuff off to you recently. Your name pops out at me. So there you can see the top 10 of individuals. Adam has 1 week from today to actually claim his book. And Adam, all you have to do is to send me an email to Regie@regiecollects.com, and I will bundle up this awesome book for you along with the Go Collect exclusive variant, and I will mail this off to you. In that email to Regie@regiecollects.com, you need to include your name, your screen name, your mailing address, and I will bundle this stuff up and send it to you. And you know what? Let's do this. I am going to, let me see what this looks like. Let me see. All right, so let's do this. I am going to scroll down to the bottom of this list. Oh, thought I closed it. And I am going to give away a pack of Wolverine cards to the last person on this list if they are in the room. Ryan Horton, if you, sir, are in the room, I have the very last pack of Wolverine cards for you. Speak now or forever hold your peace, my good man. Ryan, if you are in the room, these cards are for you. Stand up. Well done, Ariel. Well done. 367. Showed the new book. Brother, Jerry, don't rush me, man. Don't rush me. Is Ryan here? Jerry's like, yeah. Just show me the book. Just show me the good stuff. Show me what comes next. If Ryan is here, Ryan, speak up. If not Ryan, then we will go to Alan. And if not Alan, God's perfect idiot. God, I think a couple of orders just came in. We may have just, I thought this said Chris Claremont. We may have just sold out the books that we have on hand. So, all right. So, yeah. So, if the bottom three folks are in the room right now, make sure you guys, put your hand up. Put your hand up so I can see you. And now I'm going to answer my man Jerry's question. Jerry's like, show the book. All right. So here's the book. It is another 9.8. We're going to do another 9.8. And this one, let me get this off the screen. This one right here, Amazing Spider-Man 229. It is a 9.8. And because we spoke about Juggernaut, we're giving away a Juggernaut book. And so this is Juggernaut Madam Web and a Black Tom Cassidy appearance. It is Amazing Spider-Man 229, 9.8 with white pages. I have this book in my collection, of course, but I do not have it in a 9.8. So all books that we give away here on the channel are valued between $150 and $200. Sometimes I'm a little below, sometimes I'm a little above, but almost always we are somewhere in that sweet spot. This is a nice book, and we are going to be giving it away at the end of this week to one person. So a couple of people seem to like it. Yeah, man, we try to give away some good stuff, man. Quest Dog, how you doing, brother? Some ASM, my man, Randy Snake. Shout out to you, Doug. It's good to see you. It is good to see. Oh, Master Blaster's in the house. Hopefully you saw my shout out at the beginning. Matt Woods is in the house. Definitely appreciate all of you guys. So that is going to be the book that is going to be given away. And I don't think that we have seen anyone from the list so far that have shown up. So if none of the three people are here in the room, I'm trying to think. It's random. You want to randomize the list one more time? You want to randomize it one more time? It's risky. It's risky to randomize it. But we're going to do it. If you guys want to do it, we can randomize it one more time. Or I can pick a number and you guys can guess what the number is. That might be a little harder. That could, oh, brother, I don't have a trivia question ready to roll. You just can't come up with trivia on the spot there, Scott. I've done it. It doesn't work very well. I've tried to do it randomly. It doesn't work very well because a lot of times I can't even think of the answer myself. So we're going to randomize it. We're going to randomize this list one more time. We're going to randomize it one more time. And if the person is in the room, they will get it. And if not, and again, you have to be in the US. Let's be honest. You have to be in the US. And if that doesn't work, then we'll save it for another day. All right. So this is the list. 376 people entered for Carnage Mind Bomb. Clearly people love a little bit of Carnage. So let's Let's randomize this list one more time. And if you are in the room, you will get the pack of Wolverine cards. Jamie is Sandoval. Jamie Sandoval, if you are in the room, stand up and let us see you. Jamie Sandoval for the Wolverine cards. You also must be in the U.S., Jamie. So if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but this is the last thing we'll do. And if this doesn't work, then we may have to just give the cards away in a different fashion. So a couple of people are placing orders. I absolutely appreciate all of you guys setting those orders in. I will bundle everything up. Hopefully, I will be able to actually get into the website to process your orders. If you don't get a tracking number tonight, recognize that it's because I probably cannot get into the system. So fingers crossed that I will be able to. There he is. Oh, Jamie's like, I'm standing up. You stood up and I see you. So send me an email, Jamie, to Regie at regiecollects.com, REGIE, with your mailing address, and I will bundle this up. Hopefully you are in the US, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to send this stuff. But fingers crossed that you are indeed in the US. And if you happen to get one of these Prism cards, you got to let me know, man, because I've been waiting for somebody to win some good stuff in one of these packs. All right, with that, I am going to wrap this up. I want to thank you all for spending a little bit of time with me this evening. I hope that you guys enjoyed the live show. I definitely enjoy these shows. I have a lot of fun doing them, and I hope quit being so sensitive. I love some Chris Bigger. But again, there's a couple of interesting posts that I put up on the community tab. So if you guys have a chance, check that out. The announcement for next week's giveaway is also posted. That always gets posted at 7:15 right before the live show. But again, a couple of posts up on the community tab that you guys may want to take a look at. Congrats to all of the winners. I think it was Adam Close and Jamie Sandoval. Congrats to you guys. Thank you to all of those individuals that gave super chats tonight. Shout out to the Blue Wrenches for being on top of the game. I absolutely appreciate the work that you guys do week in and week out during these live streams. I am very appreciative of each and every one of you, and I'm also appreciative of all of you that are watching live as well as those that are watching on replay. Thank you guys very much. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so in one of two ways: on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can reach out to me via email at reggie@regiecollects.com. If you're feeling frisky, be sure to head over to the website, check out some of the great content that comes out from our bloggers on a weekly basis. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.